Hey, Christine. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Okay. Okay, so I thought I'm turning my camera off on from at the start, so you can see the face that matches the voice. But when we're diving into the training, I'll turn it off so we can focus on the slides I made. And I made a lot of slides. There are like 60 slides, so it's going to be really a long training, but valuable. And we are working towards the 10 steps to create a money breakthrough. Okay. Hello, Celine. Okay. And I'll see if I can share my screen with everyone in a couple of moments, so I give people a little bit more time to jump on the training for everyone who wants to be here live. And then we'll just get started, and I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Okay. Let me share my screen with you. And then I'm turning my camera off. So, okay, and please, if you have any questions during the training, just ask them and I will answer them in the moment, or at the end of the training. We'll see how much comes up. So what will we doing in this training? I will teach you 10 steps you can use to create a money breakthrough. Well, how will you get the most out of this training? Just be present, ask questions if they come up for you. Just focus this time on doing this training properly, and maybe watching it for a second or even a third time, and I will explain later why that is so important. And well, also use the alignment journal, and I will be telling a little bit more about the alignment journal later on in this training. So I'll share a little bit about myself later on for people who really don't know who I am and what my journey is. But first I want to explain a little bit about my mission. My mission is to create a world with as many powerful creators as possible, who live from total alignment and in freedom and abundance, and can manifest whatever they desire, with money as a powerful tool for transformation. And it is my mission that people will make decisions from their heart and their soul, and not from money or no money, and that it will be super easy for them to create money breakthroughs time and time again. Because I coach a lot of entrepreneurs, creatives, people who just want to make money being themselves, and most of the time money is a real struggle for them. And I learned along the way, because I was one of those people myself, and sometimes I still am, but I learned a lot of tricks and mindset tricks and consciousness stuff to create that breakthrough for myself, and I really want to share that with you. So my question for you is, take some time to think about the life you would like to create for yourself, and how much time do you take to think about that, to align with the life you know deep inside that you're meant to be living. What is that biggest vision you have for yourself? And have you already decided to create that? And also share this in the chat with me, so I know a little bit of where you're at. Have you already made that decision? Is it something you want to decide, but are there things stopping you or blocking you? And if yes, what are those things, so I can integrate them in this training today and really help you to take a big step after you went through this content today. So I already said this, but I created a training packed with valuable content to help you make that shift. And I'll see the comments in a minute. And in the meantime, I'll just go ahead to the next slide. This isn't a get rich quick type of thing. It's also not an easy thing. And I'll share a little bit about that also later on. It isn't a golden pill. The results I have achieved, they are not average. And it took a lot for me to achieve them. So if you're looking for a quick fix or a get rich quick kind of thing, then this training isn't for you. And everything else, what I teach people about manifestation, about manifesting money, about building your soul-aligned business is not for you either. So, okay, I saw a comment coming up, so I'll just open the chat here in the corner. How to stay in abundant space when challenges come up. Okay, so that's a really powerful question, because challenges do come up all the time. And I think this training will also answer that for you. And let me know at the end if you have an answer to that question. And if not, I will talk a little bit more about that. So this training is for you if you feel there's more, and maybe you don't even need to specify that what that more is. It's just more, you know, you have the feeling that there is more for you. You have the feeling that you are born for greatness. You want to create stuff. You want to connect with people on a deeper level. You want to create a life full of wonderful things. And really feel that power inside of you, and also express it with other people. So it's also for you if you are no longer willing to let money or no money keep you from following your dreams. If you have a mission that you want to earn money with, if you want to learn how money really works, and if you are willing to do the daily inner and outer work. And what that work is, I will share with you also later on in the training. And if you're open to learning and shifting, or if you are a little bit like me. When I was growing up and also in my 20s, I was always struggling with money. I had these crazy big dreams, but I didn't really express them. I also had trouble owning those dreams. Because I had all these limiting beliefs about who I was, and that there was no way for me to be that person. So I didn't really follow those dreams, and I certainly didn't believe I could earn money doing what I really loved. So I was scared to leave my steady job, because I thought, well, if I'm going to leave that job, who is going to pay my bills? And I wasn't happy. I knew deep down inside that I didn't belong in my job, that I didn't belong in the life I was living. I felt there was something out there, and I already also knew what it was, you know. I'll share that with you in the next slide. But I had this deep-rooted belief that I just couldn't make money doing that. I had a lot of resolutions to make a difference. I don't know if that's relatable for you, but every time I went on a holiday, for example, and I felt some kind of freedom and peace inside of me, I said to myself, oh, I never want to get rid of this feeling. I always want to stay in this space, and if I'm coming home, everything is going to change. And I always carried notebooks inside me not inside me, but inside my backpack or something, and wrote down big plans and ideas, and I thought, when I'm coming home, I'm really going to do this. I'm really going to make different choices this time. So I don't know if that's relatable. but please share in the chat if it is. But always when I went back, when I came back from a holiday or out of some kind of inspirational period, I always fell back in the same energy and in the same beliefs that I just couldn't make money doing what I really wanted to do. So I stayed stuck in the same patterns every year. And I had all these dreams. I wanted to be free. I wanted to start my own business. I wanted to learn all there was to learn about the law of attraction each day. And I wanted to write. That was something I knew from around age 22. I asked myself, I came across the law of attraction, and the law of attraction told me, okay, Maartje, you can do anything you want to do. You can be anything you want to be. You can experience anything you want to experience. What would you like to do? And I thought, then I want to learn about law of attraction as much as I can, just study it. And I want to write, because I just loved writing, but I only did it for myself or when I was on a holiday. So I already knew what I wanted to do, but I just couldn't find a way to make that a reality. So I felt there was more and that I was destined for greatness, but no matter what I did, nothing seemed to work. And I was scared I wouldn't have any money left at all. So I was really insecure also about myself, about my value, about the knowledge I had. And I just thought I'd never make it. And at my all-time low, I was depressed and addicted and burnt out. That was about the same time I discovered law of attraction. I came home from work one day, and well, I was at my work when I kind of exploded, and all I could do was just cry, because I knew I was not on my right path and I couldn't find a way to get out of it. Okay, and when I finally quit my job, and that was a couple of years ago, so there was still a big gap between when I figured out what I wanted to do and really going for it to make money with it. When I did that, I just still couldn't see what I was worth. And I was offering my service for really low prices, practically for free. At one moment, I even offered my services for free, because I did a pay what you can or pay what you want system. And people could just pay me like 5 or 10 euros for my membership program. I still have that program in the Netherlands, and but I changed it a couple of times. I changed the setup, I changed the price, I even changed the name a couple of times. And that's the program I'm launching now internationally. And people, they hardly paid me any money. So, and that was not because I said it was because I want to make my content available for people, and I want to give people a chance to learn about law of attraction in the way I did. But deep inside, I was just scared to ask for money. I had a lot of guilt and shame around money, a lot of negative beliefs around money. But I knew how the law of attraction worked, but I just couldn't do it in a way that felt good when it came to manifesting money. But I felt that I didn't want to live that way, because I started my business, and it's just a reality. If you have a business and you aren't earning any money, then there will come a day that you have to get back in your day job. And I really didn't want to. I felt so free and so good when I quit my job, and I finally got where I wanted. I created all day long, I wrote all day long, and I was so happy, and I just had to figure out the money stuff. So I did. I started to learn all I could about manifesting money. I took dozens of online trainings about manifesting money, And that's not even overrated or overstated. I don't know. I borrowed money from my parents. I used my credit card. I upped my debit limit. I did everything I could to invest it in money manifesting trainings. That's really funny, but that's how it went. And I hired coaches. I joined a ton of membership programs, and basically every penny I earned with my business got invested in this. And I still invest a lot of money in this stuff because I know, because it's something I love. You know, I love following trainings. I love studying things. I love connecting with people. So I invest a lot in that stuff. I read a lot of books about manifesting money. I watched hundreds of hours of YouTube movies. I spent hours on it every day and took it all in like a sponge. And I already done that a couple of years for Law of Attraction to learn all about manifestation. But now I was really doing it with one subject in mind: learn how to manifest money. Because I knew if I get this down, if I learn this, then I can stay in business. And I always think of the Walt Disney quote when I tell this, because Walt Disney had this beautiful quote that they don't make money. They don't make movies to make money, but they make money to make more movies. And that's exactly what I feel about manifesting money. And I do that so I can stay in business, so I can keep doing what I really want to do. And of course, it brings me a lovely lifestyle, and it has all kinds of other benefits. I can help my family. I can support my little brother who can't work because of his autism. And there are so many other benefits. But the biggest reason for me to have such a great focus on manifesting money is so I can just keep doing what I am doing. Okay, and I saw that someone raised their hand. Oh, wait. Okay, someone put in a question in the Q&A box. Okay, I'm going to come back to that question later. Okay, Jade? But I will answer it. Okay. So if I describe it, I kind of have a self-created master's degree in manifesting money. And if there was a proper degree, I would have taken it, but there isn't. So I had to learn it all by myself. And that's really wonderful, because now I can learn it other people, and that's exciting too. So I learned more every day, and I'm still learning stuff, because the personal development and growing your energy, growing your consciousness, it's something that never ends. I implemented what I learned, and I experimented with what did and didn't work. I learned what I was doing wrong, because you have to experiment and just try stuff out. You know, most people are scared to just try things. Everyone's waiting till the perfect moment or the perfect time, and I can relate to that, because I also did that for a while with my international business, because I'm still pretty insecure about my English and my accent, and sometimes I feel in my head that I'm searching for words, and but yeah, you can wait till it's perfect, but when it is it ever going to be perfect? Sometimes you just have to do it, experiment, and grow from there. So the things I was doing wrong was I was constantly in a wait and see modus. So I tried something and I waited for a long time, and I saw what the results were. But by doing that, I took a lot of momentum out of my creations. So that is something I changed. I thought success and money was something that would happen to me. I thought that there would come a day and then it would just be there or something, or that someone would discover me, or something big would happen, or I would win the lottery. That's something I tried to align with when I had the belief that I couldn't make money doing what I love. But of course that wasn't in my higher good, because if I'd win the lottery, I would have never started this, and this is obviously what I'm meant to be doing. But I tried all these things to just let it magically appear. And I like magic. I believe in magic. You see it at the subtitle, Manifest Magically. But there are a few more steps you need to take for the magic to really happen and appear. And of course, I share them with you in this training. One thing I also did was I let myself be guided by other people's judgment around money. And that's something I sometimes still do, because there's so much judgment around money in the world. And I think that everyone sees that in their daily life, that rich people are greedy and that money is a bad thing, and yeah, all that stuff. So I'm going to take a little sip. One of the things I also didn't do was I wasn't training my mindset on a daily basis. And I thought earning money was something you did, but I figured out that it has much more to do with who you are. And I'll explain that also later. And Albert Einstein, he puts it down really beautiful. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. And I just love that quote. So I learned that if I wanted to create a different reality, I'd have to become a different person. I would have to create a different identity for myself. I need to create a new consciousness about who I am and what I'm capable of. And since that day, and this is a process, it wasn't that hit me in a single moment or something, it was a process, but by learning that, I started to do the daily work, stepping daily in that new identity, aligning to my dreams daily, work on a new money story and my new money consciousness, and take inspired action from that place. At first, I did it every once in a while, and then I started aligning to my dreams every day. And yeah, now I kind of do it hardcore, you know. I have also found a way to even make my journaling really valuable, because I start sharing my my journaling pieces with my community. I journal in Dutch, and I share those with my Dutch Money is Love community, and I journal in English, and I'm going to put those in my English Money is Love community. So even your personal journaling can be something that's really inspirational for other people. And the more I focus my attention and consciousness on what I would like to create, the more results I get. And it's kind of as simple as that. So by making those changes and also applying the 10 steps I'm going to learn in the next couple of slides, I recovered from my depressions and addictions. I'm bringing my ideas and plans to life. I'm writing every single day, and I earn money teaching how we can create our own reality, which I have been dreaming of since I was 22 to do that. And finally, 4 years ago, I stepped into that place. I quit my job 4 years ago. And with my job, I never earned more than 2,000 euros a month. I was working for the government. I helped people who didn't have a job to find a job, mostly people with mental disabilities, or people who had an unemployment, how do you say that? who had unemployment. Okay, you understand what I mean. And now I'm a full-time entrepreneur, and I call it, I'm not even sure I want to call myself an entrepreneur. I'm just a creator, you know, I'm a writer. I just follow my alignment, think things up, experiment with programs, launch books, create blogs, offer coaching. And last year, our revenue from the business was 800,000 euros. So, and it's still, if I see it, okay, it's not something, it's not to brag, but just to show you what is possible, you know, that it is possible for everyone. And yeah, the last bullet point, I fly around the world to connect with the awesomest people, and that's also something I love to do, you know. And I still feel it's only the beginning of what's possible for me, because I just launched my international business in the Netherlands. Yeah, there are a lot of people following me, but there are also still a lot of people who don't even know who I am, or who don't even know what law of attraction is, and who don't even know that you can manifest money. You know, so the biggest part of society, they still think they have to make money and earn money and work really hard for money. And some people around this point would think, yeah, but for you it's easy, you know? Because I also always think that when I'm listening to other people's success stories, and maybe you are thinking that too. Maybe you are thinking, yeah, but I'm a single parent, I haven't been trained as a coach, or I'm not even a coach or an online entrepreneur, and I don't think of myself as a coach either, but okay. You could think, I have no idea what to do. You knew it, Maartje. You knew from the age of 22 that you wanted to be a writer and that you wanted to learn all about law of attraction, but I have no freaking clue what I'm supposed to do. Maybe you say, I don't have the money. Well, it's easy if you make 800,000 euros a year, you can do everything you want, but that's not the case for me. Maybe you think my partner isn't supporting me, and maybe there are other thoughts you have. And if you do, please share them in the chat. But that was also not the case for me. It was also never an easy thing, and to be honestly, it's still never an easy thing. It's a daily choice I have to make, a daily decision. It requires daily mindset work, daily putting myself out there, doing things I'm scared of or that are uncomfortable. So it's still never easy, you know. It's simple to say just do it, but it always asks a lot of you. And if you're already in that space that you're putting yourself out there, I know Krista, you are, and Christine, you are also in that space, putting yourself out there. You can give yourself a lot of respect for doing it, because it asks a lot of you. So, and the thought I had, my biggest block about around taking these steps and becoming this person was, there is nothing special about me. That was my biggest obstacle. I thought, well, I like to write, but I wasn't really good at it. You know, I'm still not an amazing writer. I make a lot of spelling mistakes. Yeah, that's something I hear a lot of people. Maybe you should get your spelling checked, Maartje, but I really don't want to, because that doesn't feel aligned. I was not an entrepreneur. I still don't feel like I am one. I just try stuff out, you know, and sometimes stuff works and sometimes it doesn't. but at least I'm trying, and some people aren't even trying, you know. I also wasn't born in a family of entrepreneurs. I didn't know any entrepreneurs. I also thought that being an entrepreneur meant you had to put on a suit and be all businessy and stuff, and I couldn't really relate to that. I'm also not really pretty or slim or smart or funny. I'm not. This is not meant to put myself down. And maybe I am funny. Maybe sometimes I am funny, and maybe in a way I am pretty, you know. But those were never things I thought about myself. I put myself down all the time when I was growing up. I'm super highly sensitive. I need lots of alone time. I want to keep my schedule as empty as possible. I often really have trouble being around other people for too long. So I thought that was a big block too, and I don't know if you can relate to that, just needing a lot of alone time. And when I like something, I can be super focused, but I can also be extremely lazy and wait to the very last minute to do things. And that's still the case. And my partner really needed time to adjust at the start of things. I was really scared when I wanted to quit my job, and he didn't earn enough to provide for the family, for our daughter. So he was scared when I said I quit my job. And I had a lot of excuses to don't follow my dreams, and those excuses still pop up every single time I start something new. When I start a new training, when now I am I don't even know the word, but okay, now I'm starting internationally. All those thoughts come up when I raise my prices, when I fly across the world again for coaching, when I'm making big investments, when I host a large event. I'm having an event Saturday in the Netherlands, and there will be around 100 people, and that's still a big thing, you know. When I do launch a program that has a lot riding on it, emotionally, I still get really scared and feel lots of energy and resistance around it. When I add a new member to my team, I'm really scared to make the investments. I also hear myself saying in my head, oh, but I really don't have the money now, and how can I do that? And when I want to do more marketing, I still get scared that I'm harassing people or something. So those thoughts really never go away. The only thing you can do is just keep going, you know. Because whatever you do, you can allow yourself to be guided by two things. You can let yourself be guided by your bullshit or those fears, blocks, limiting beliefs, or other people's limiting beliefs, or your dreams and your desires and your alignment. And it's always a difficult choice. But the question is, how committed are you? Are you willing to feel uncomfortable? Are you willing to be judged by others? And are you willing to do the inner work, or aren't you? That's really the only question you need to ask yourself. Okay, Jade says, I do relate to the alone time, keeping schedule as empty as possible and wait till last minute with things. It was very valuable that you shared that. Okay, cool. And please let me know, is this valuable, what I'm sharing at this point? Are there any questions coming up for you? And I'll take a little bit of time to answer your question, Jade. And I'll take a sip of water first, because I get a dry mouth from all the talking. I don't know what I want to do for myself and the world, but I do know that I want to feel free and be able to pursue things that pop up inside my head. Oftentimes when I start to a new project, I don't get into the flow. Everything is just thick as syrup, and I don't meet right people that are needed to get the ID flourish. Maybe I don't align properly. What advice can you give the ones who don't know what they really want? Okay, for me, and I'm thinking if I have a slide in the training that answer this question, and I do think I have one. So I'll answer this question a little bit later because it's not complicated. The question you are asking, I get a lot, and I think most people can relate to this, not knowing what you want, you know, because I still don't know what I want. I still only can look a week in the future, or sometimes a month, and not even that sometimes. Sometimes I know what I'm doing today, and the rest is a little bit blurry. But I have like kind of a process how I can break through that moment of stuckness. So I'm going to share a little bit about that later. Okay, very good. Making a decision to follow our alignment. Yes, that is the starting point. Sometimes we need to hear the same message many times. Yes, exactly. Okay, so the question is, will you allow those excuses to guide you any longer, or will you, like I did, decide to no longer allow that money thing to have any power or control over your life? And not only the money thing, you guys, everything, you know, every limiting belief and everything that's holding you back. And the first thing you need is to make a decision. And if you make a decision, everything else will follow from that decision. Like these 10 steps. These 10 steps I will share, I'm sharing with you in this training, can create that breakthrough for you. And the best thing is that these steps are always the same. That's why I said at the beginning of the training that it's just a wise or a smart thing to follow the training multiple times. And maybe I'll update it later as we go on and I integrate some more things in the training. But the steps are always the same. Those are the steps who took me to $500 or euros, to 5,000 euros, to 50,000 euros. And they will also take me to the next step. It's still the same recipe. I follow in my own life as I teach you guys. And I also put into quotes, 2 slides with quotes from really happy clients, but because I'm just one person telling this, and yeah, don't just take it from me. Take it from people who already went through this content and implemented this content into their lives. I hear stories about money breakthroughs all the times from my client, like reaching 10,000 euros a month or even more. You know, some last month there were 2 clients. One had a 40,000 month or a 37,000 month. So, and it's not even about the money, but it's also about finding peace in yourselves. A lot of times I hear that relationships will become better because the money stuff, it's just not kind of such an issue anymore. And you can also use these steps to manifest everything. It's not just about manifesting the money, but you can also manifest your dream house, or learning what you're supposed to do in life, building deeper connections with people, going on a trip or something. You can, for everything you manifest this, you can implement the same steps. Well, more wonderful results, manifestations left and right, bookings that roll in if people aligned, and other wonderful things. Okay, so what's the first step of the 10 steps? The first step is to set a clear intention and give your money a home. And I explain a little bit about what I mean by giving your money a home later on. But if you don't know well, what you want to receive, it says how you want to receive, but the how is to the universe, not for you. But what you want to receive, then how should the universe know? You know, you are the universe. Everything that's in your consciousness is in your consciousness. You are like the energy generator of your life. So you really need to put down a clear intention. So just check within yourself, do you have a clear intention of what you want to receive? And yeah, it says here, you are responsible for the what, and the universe is responsible for the how, because most of the time I see people aren't really being clear on the what, because if you ask for what you want, immediately limiting thoughts and blocks are arising, and you think, oh, but it can't be that simple, and maybe I shouldn't be too greedy and don't ask for this and for that. So, and then you're already watering down the what. And my advice is to you, don't do that. I'm explaining later what you can do to really give yourself the space to ask for everything you want, but don't water it down immediately. Focus on where you want to go. You have to direct your own energy, because no one is going to do that for you. So the second step is make your goal a must. Manifesting money requires a lot from you. I explain a little bit more about that later on in the training, because there are a lot of things you can experience when you start manifestation or manifesting money that are holding you back in giving it your all, you know, and then people are kind of doing it halfway through. And I also did that for a while. There's nothing really wrong with it, but as long as you're if it's clear for you, if you're kind of half in it or all the way in it. And let's say your goal is $5,000 a month and 3,000 is fine as well. Then you won't get that 5,000. Money doesn't happen to you, you create it. And yesterday I was also listening or watching a training from my mentor, Frank Kern. I don't know if you know him, but he also told a story about having set a new goal in his membership program. He has this high-end membership program. He asks $397 a month for it, and he really wanted to break through the $500,000 a month goal for that membership program. And he said, I was focusing so intensely on that goal. He said, I was saying to myself all day long, $500,000, help, or maybe five, I don't know exactly what he said, but something like that there was this intense focus. And I was really fascinated by that, and I'm going to ask him a little bit more about it when I see him next time. But I already wanted to share it with you. It doesn't happen. Another example, the first time I had an event, I thought it's really nice if there would be 100 people in the room. And 80 is also cool, but 60 is minimum. You know, I really want to have 60 people in the room. That also feels doable. 80 would be even better, and 100 would be, oh my God, so super, super excited. And what did you think I manifested? I manifested the 60 people, because that was where my energy was. That was like a must. I had the mindset, I won't settle for less. I won't settle for less than the 60 people. And that's the energy you have to have in order to manifest the money. And if you think about your money goal now, is it already at the point where you say, I won't settle for less? And probably it isn't. And that's okay, you know, because manifesting money, it's a journey, and your life doesn't depend on it. You know, I'm also going to share a little bit about that later. I think I need to pre-record that sentence because I say it so much, but it is, you know, and that's okay. As long as you're aware now that you're not at the point that it's a must. And you probably aren't, because if you were at the point that it's a must, then you would have already been there. So the third step is write down your old money story. The law of attraction is really simple. Ask and you will receive. The reason why you're not receiving is that there are beliefs standing in between you and your goal. And in this third step, you are going to explore those beliefs by looking at the story you are telling yourself around money. What are you telling yourself about money, and what is and what isn't aligned to the reality you want to create? And I have a couple of examples to figure out what that money story is. So look at your current reality. You have this goal you want to work to, and you have a current reality. For example, maybe you want to go to or maybe I just take my own, take myself as an example, although maybe it's not totally relatable for where you're at, but as I said, the steps are always the same. If you're going from 1,000 to 2,000 euros or from 2 to 5, they're always the same. So my goal has been to reach 100,000 euros a month. I put that goal down like 2 years ago, you know, and I'm still not there, and that's okay because I already grew so much, you know, so that's totally okay. But why isn't it a must yet, you know? And there's all these reasons why it's not a must. And I wrote a lot about it in the piece I've written for my English Money is Love community. But the main thing is because there are limiting beliefs. You know, like I don't have one thing that came up this week is I don't have a system. So it's not, I can't make the money because it's not, how do you say that? Yeah, I don't know the word, but predictable. It's not predictable, you know, it's like I'm just doing something, and you can't do something, just do something and then make that kind of money. That's a big belief that's somewhere still inside me for a little bit. So that's one example of how your current reality is not matching the reality you want to go through. So look at your current reality. What is your current money situation? Where do you want to go? And then look at all the beliefs you tell yourself around money. Explore the beliefs that came across when your parents raised you. You know, what were beliefs that or things you heard growing up? For example, I heard money doesn't grow on trees. My father, he worked really hard for his money, and he also said, yeah, work isn't just fun. You just have to do things that are not fun. It's just the way it is, you know. My parents always told me, because I wanted to go to like an art school, but they said you can't make money doing performance art or being an artist or performing in musicals. I really wanted to be on stage when I grew up, and now I'm kind of am, but in a different way. And so I felt I wanted to be creative, but they always said, yeah, you can't make money doing that. You have to find a steady job, and for that you have to follow a proper education. So I did like an economics studies, but I hated it. I really hated it. So I quit after 6 months of that education to just I've worked then as a waitress or something, but then I actually like doing that. I like being like a hostess. I really like that. And in the Money is Love training, I have a complete module around your money story, and it will help you map out your current money study by guiding you through 14 points and 6 pages to really get into the details of it. And it's important that you don't want to do that on your own, because a money story can really be in the details that you will never think of yourself. And of course, you know, if you're not signing up for the community, that's totally okay. It's a free choice, of course. So, and then please make a start at your own, you know, but it's always better to get the help. And if you want to do it by yourself first, here are a couple of questions to start mapping out your money story. What did your parents used to say about money? What does society and culture think about money? What do you do because you're scared there won't be any more if you there won't be any money if you don't? How do you feel when you pay your bills or spend money? How do you feel when you look at your bank account, you know? Does money easily flow into your life, or does it feel like a struggle? What are your thoughts on that? And what fears do you have around money? And what would you do differently if you'd have $1 million? And I'm going to send these slides to you after we're done with the training, and also the replay, so you can look at the slides and map out your own money story. There are a million other questions you can ask yourself to map out your money story, but these are the questions you can start with. Well, the next step 4, is writing a new money story. Then you know your current money story, and then it's time to write a new one. And yeah, I always advise to like shape it like a script, like a movie script. In the movie script, is written because then all the actors and everyone who is working on the movie, they know what scene comes at what moment, and everyone knows what's going to happen. And that is your script, you know, the story of your new life. So the question is, which story can you tell yourself that is aligned to the new reality you want to create? And I have an example script. If you signed up for this training and you also got an email with some valuable free content, there's a money script in there. And you can read that money script to see what I'm talking about. In the alignment journal, I also share a little bit of how to write a proper script. And that alignment journal also was sent to you through email. If you haven't gotten the email, check your spam box. If it's not in there, just email us at info@maartjekoper.com. I'm not even sure if that's the right email address. Well, we have an email address that says info@maartjekoper.nl. So just use that one. It always comes in the mailbox, and we'll just send the email with the alignment journal and the script to you again. And that's some free stuff you can go through to dive deeper into that new script you want to write and the new story you're going to tell yourself. Here are some example questions for you to write your script. I have to drink something, sorry. Okay, how much money are you receiving now that you have hit your dream income goal? And what is your lifestyle like? Where do you live? What kind of work do you do? How many customers do you have? What does your ideal customer look like? Do your customers pay your bills lovingly? How do your customers regard investing in you or actually in themselves? What is manifesting in your life now that you have enough money? What are your feelings towards money? Because the feelings are really the thing that put your energy in motion. So it's really important to spend a piece in your script of how you are feeling and how are you feeling when you are spending money. So those are some questions you can answer for yourself. And then a little, some more tips for writing the script. Focus on the what, not on the how. You know, don't go writing down how you will get there. The how is the universe's job to provide that for you, and I'll explain later how that works. Don't negotiate about your goals. It's never or, you know. Don't write down, oh, I want to have a really loving partner and a deep relationship, and I want to do this or that. Oh, but then I can't have the business I want or the money I want or blah, blah, blah. So just let me pick one of those things. No, it's never or. Just write down what you want to have. The universe will help you find a way to align to that goal. And I also am going to help you with that in this training. Okay, notice which limiting beliefs are popping up, you know, because if you are, for example, choosing between the partner and the business, then there are probably some beliefs around, well, partners aren't really supportive of successful people, or it's really difficult to have a successful business and a partner, a loving relationship. What kind of limiting beliefs are popping up? Just write those down on a separate piece of paper, but we are going to do so. Well, not now, just do this later on, of course, because now I'm just giving you all the content and you can work with it later on. Write your script in the present tense. You know, I am. I'm doing, I'm living, I'm being, I'm thinking, I'm feeling, not in the future. Because if you align to something in the future, it stays in the future until you make a decision to align with it now, in this moment. Okay, write a new script every once in a while, because you will notice that there will become a point, you will get to a point that the script doesn't have that much energy anymore, or there are new dreams that you want to align to, so you can write a new script or rewrite the old one. It's either way is okay. And never take stock, you know, because that doesn't match the energy of it's already there. If you're checking if something is already manifested, at that point you're out of alignment, because if it's there, you're not checking, you know, because, for example, I have a really amazing husband. His name is Bob. We have been married for 17 years. He is like my soulmate. I really love him. I'm never checking if he's still there, you know, he is just there. He's always there for me. So, and because it's so normal to be in that space, it's really normal for me to have a loving relationship, to have a deep commitment, a deep connection with him. It's just a normal thing. And that wasn't always normal, because in the beginning of our relationship, I had commitment issues, not small ones, but really big ones. So it's not a given for me that he's always there, but now it is, because I cleared all the blocks around that, and I can just, yeah, enjoy the energy of the relationship and enjoy his energy and his the value he brings in my life. So how would you feel if you have the life you desire? And that's a growing process, because I already said that earlier. There will always become new dreams and new desires for you to align with. And pay attention to your feelings. Does it make sense? Does it feel like the next logical step? Because, well, that's also important, and I'll tell a little bit about that later. And then just decide that that is your new reality, because reality is not, we create our reality. So you need to shift your focus to a new reality, and you do not, you do that by writing a script, aligning to it every day, and then deciding that that is your truth and that there is no other truth than that truth. Step 5 is then step into that new energy, into that new you, into the energy of your new script. The question is, what would you think, feel, and do? Now this is your truth. And each day you choose again to shift into that person more and more, and to create your new identities. Take decisions from where you want to be, not from where you are. And this is so counterintuitive, because people are used to waiting until it is there, or taking lots of actions for it to come into your life. And you can take actions as long as those are inspired actions, because there isn't much action necessary to manifest your dreams. For example, with the money, I'll first manifest the money, but money will only come once you have made a choice and once you step into that person. And for example, you want to go on a trip and you think, well, I'll just first manifest the money because I don't have the money right now, and we'll see about it, and etc., etc. But then you'll see that, yeah, the money doesn't really come. And why doesn't the money come? Because you haven't made a decision yet. You haven't made a choice to step into the energy of someone who is taking a year-long trip. Because if you're busy planning it, you're getting travel books, you are booking your tickets, you are sending emails to hotels, or reserving them online, or figuring out how the money can come while you're on the trip, or subletting your house, or whatever. You're not only saying, oh, I'll first manifest the money, because the money is not the problem. The money is not the problem why you are not going on the trip, or why you are not quitting your job, or why you are not investing in the coaching. It's not about the money. It's never about the money. You haven't made a decision, and there are a lot of thoughts that keeping you from stepping into that energy, and you're kind of really scared that if you take that step, and if you make that decision, and if you take the leap, that you fail, that you might fail. People will think you're stupid, or everything will collapse around you, and you're making a big mess, or whatever you're scared of. And the next step is align to the energy of money every single day. It's not just a one-time thing to align to the energy of money. It's a daily practice. So use the alignment journal, create your own alignment ritual, and check your income and your expenses. And why is that important, that last one? So you can see and know what kind of blocks you have. I'm curious, who does that? Who tracks their income and their expenses? And I said expenses, yeah, like that, because in the beginning when I did that, I wrote down everything I spend it. I even wrote down when I spent money on a cup of coffee, but now I kind of put that all together like groceries or something, and I just put an amount down for that. But I'm curious, because most people don't do that because they think it takes time, or it's really not fun. Because when you're in a bad state with money, it's confronting, you know, it brings up all kinds of blocks. You become really clear on the gap you've created or on the lack you've created, and it's not fun, but it's 100% will help you to clear those money blocks and focus on making more money. So why is that daily alignment so important? Well, first we create our own reality, and when you are consciously working on it, you can direct your life like you never been able to before. So either or you create your life, or other people create your life for you. You know, your boss makes decisions, your partner makes decisions, your clients tell you what to do and when to do it. The society tells you what to wear, how to look, how skinny you have to be, what kind of school your children have to go to, all kinds of things. Either you create your reality consciously, working towards it, making your own choices, or there will be someone else who tells you what to do. So second, when you don't direct your own life, you are constantly responding to what you have created already. So you're constantly affirming your old money story. You're focusing your attention on your old money story, where you focus your attention on you will get more of. So you just keep getting more of what you already created. And if that's something you want more of in your life, then it's okay. Just keep focusing all you want. But if you want to create something different, then you have to shift that focus and align to it every day. Third, alignment is important when you want to take big leaps. Well, also if you want to take small steps, but I like the big leaps, you know. And the reason why I like it is because for so long I felt I was born for more, and I was this creative person who wanted to do things and create things and have this fun life, but I didn't do it. And since I gave myself permission to do that, there's kind of just no stopping me, you know. There's this feeling inside me, I don't ever want to get back to where I was. I don't ever want to get back. Fourth, alignment needs to become a daily ritual. Missing alignment for one day will make you lose your momentum, and not aligning for weeks on end will make you spiral down. It's just what it is. It's like the same with movement or working out, or some people might go to the gym and really like that. But if you don't, if you are in the habit, for example, I love to walk, and sometimes I make a decision to do these daily walks, and then it's really easy. I just go out, I walk for an hour, but as soon as I stop, or I think, well, maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, and sometimes the next day that happens too, and then I look at my phone, because I have an app on my phone that says how much steps I make. Then I see, oh my God, I haven't walked properly for like 4 days. Yeah, because I lost the momentum. I lost the momentum of walking every day, and yeah, and sometimes then you feel like you have to start again or something. Then I'll start the habit again, and my legs are sore or something. And that's also the same with alignment. And fifth, even when you're busy, when there's chaos, when there's a lot of stuff going on, and where you are experiencing lack, you should do an alignment ritual. You should journal. You should spend time and energy on this, because that's when you need it the hardest. And you know, guys, when everything is going really well, you should do it too. You should just do it every day. Okay, I'm a big alignment fan. Don't know if you were getting it, but okay. And sixth, every excuse you have not to align and start the alignment journal in the essence is like a block. Well, you don't have to use the alignment journal. You can align in in different ways, and I'll share some examples in one of the next slides. Because, for example, my husband, he doesn't write in his journal. He has other ways of finding alignment for himself. So it's not that you have to write, that's my way, but find something that's working for you. And finally, because I already said that in the previous slide, I refuse to return to the life I came from. So create your own alignment ritual. I'll love to help you in the Money is Love community, or use the alignment journal, or create your own ritual. For example, by doing gratitude exercises or I am statements. I love to do I am statements. Then I just write down, I am the person who just does things. I am the person who is brave. I am the person who easily makes money doing what they love. I am the person who does this or does that. It really helps me to align my thoughts to the state I want to be in. Okay, just told Marsje. Okay, writing a script is really powerful way to align. Journaling, of course, that's one of my favorites. Asking the universe questions. This is such a powerful tool. Asking the universe questions. Universe, what can I create today? What do you want to create through me today? Universe, and a wonderful question from Access Consciousness. What energy and consciousness can I be today to make this amount of money or make that amount of money? A visualization or meditation. And what's not even in here, but one of my other favorite alignment rituals is listening to inspiring audios, like audios of Abraham Hicks. Sometimes I even listen to my own audios because why not, you know? And I haven't created a lot of English audios, but there are some in the community, and there will come more and more. Or just watch or listen to the interviews on my YouTube channel. Those are really powerful too. Basically, if I listen to an audio of someone who has a high energy that resonates with me, it doesn't even matter what they're talking about, you know. Okay, it has to be kind of interesting, but just their energy lifts me up and gives me ideas. It's just an amazing way to seek alignment. Okay, well, then a little bit more about the tracking your income and expenses. Why is that so important? First, you can focus on what the money is coming in, expressing gratitude for what's already going in, and releasing resistance. And it's a way to see what blocks there are around manifesting money. And what's your reason for not doing it, you know? And kind of a question to get you thinking, would you do it if you knew that by doing it, your income will be doubled in 2 years? And I'm not saying it's going to be. It kind of did for me, that and a couple of other things I share in the training. But that's an interesting question, because then you will see if it would give me something I desire, would I then do it? What's the resistance behind not doing it? You know, it's really important to research that resistance. Well, now, how do you track your income and expenses? Well, I said here the Money is Love manifesting journal, but that's only for Dutch clients. If you're a Dutch client, you can download it for free on my website under free. You can use a tracking app. You can use an old-fashioned cash book. Or use my tracking sheet, and it's already in my Dutch community, and I will make sure that my team also builds one for my international community. And I have an example of how that would look like here. This is kind of how I track my income. Yeah, so on the left side, I write down my costs for that month. And if I spend the costs, I will then give it another color. So I know that's not something for me to focus on anymore. And under the business expenses, I put down the private expenses. And then I total them, but the private expenses yeah, I don't even know how that calls, but the X the X sign. Okay, 2,2, because that's important, because that's the amount of tax I have to pay on my net income. Then I track the income in the next column under February. Then there I write down how much money comes in. In the next column, you see the revenue there, and I write down the expenses, and the total will be in the bottom. And at the column next to that, it kind of calculates how much revenue I have, how much tax I have to pay: sales tax, gross revenue, income tax, and net revenue. And I can just see if it's on schedule with what I want to pay myself for income, and what my goals are for that month. So, and this works really well for me. And there are a lot of ways to track your income, but I love the system. It really helps me to become aware of any blocks, and to just be on top of my my expenses. Okay, so what is the next step after you have written down your income goals? Well, money can come from anywhere, but if you are like me, you feel you want to manifest money through your mission business, and then you can take these steps. I look at what my mission is, what my unique message is. I align with my ideal customer, my ideal products and services, my ideal prices, my ideal conversion, my ideal marketing system, and I call that, doing business effortless. You know, it's easy, it's aligned, it's fun. And I make business really simple. If I don't have to do anything, I really don't do it. I just focus on what's fun and what's aligned for me, and keep seeking that alignment. And in my Dutch Money is Love community, I have an online program on doing business effortless. And in the future, I will develop an English version of that program as well. But first, I'm busy creating some other wonderful content for the international community, and I'm sharing that a little bit about that later. And the next step is learning everything you can about manifesting money every single day. There has to be a focus on what you learn. And for me, it's a big focus, because I love the subject, I love the topic, I love learning everything about law of attraction. Money for me is just a really powerful tool for personal transformation. So I'm prepared to invest a lot of time and energy and also money in it. And the question kind of is, you have to answer that for yourself. How good do you want to get at it? How much will you need to invest? Because if you want to play on the amateur team and you want to just get by and have fun and it's okay, then you can just invest a little bit of time and energy and money. You know, it's okay if you invest 20 minutes a day, or you don't even have to align every day or learn everything there is about manifesting money. I always tell that story for the my husband. He plays soccer, and he's at the veterans team, and they play every Saturday, and sometimes not even every Saturday, and they lose most of the time, and yeah, they don't practice a lot, and they drink beers a lot. So it's just for fun, you know. They don't invest a lot of time and energy, and they don't get much out of it, except, of course, they're having fun, and that's the most important thing. But if you want to be on the national team, you know, you really have to practice. You have to even, yeah, you have to give some stuff up. You know, you cannot drink beers after every game, because yeah, I think, or maybe you have like this bionic body, or you're really good at aligning that your body stays really healthy and drinking lots of beers, then you can just go ahead and do that. But most people aren't really there, and if they want to be on the national team, they have to practice a lot, and they have to practice hard. And I want to be on the national team, you know, with alignment, making money, doing business, making my dreams come true, doing a lot of amazing stuff. I want to be on the national team. So I invest a lot of time and energy and money in making this a reality. So you have to check for yourself, do you want to be on the like veterans team or the amateur? And I don't mean any disrespect with amateur team. Wait, let me take a sip. Because when it comes to, for example, my body, I like my body the way it is, you know. I don't feel any desire to get super slim or super trained or going to the gym every day. So for me, it's totally okay to be in the amateur team when it comes to my body. I just wanted to be healthy and happy and to feel sexy. And it really doesn't matter if I'm 60 kilos or 90 kilos. Maybe in the future it will, but not right now. So the amateur team is okay for me. And there are people who want to be trimmed and slim and on the podium to take fitness contests. Yeah, then you have to invest a lot of time and energy and money in that, you know. So no disrespect, just a simple choice. I've seen a lot of people over the years who want to be on the national team, want to make millions of dollars, but they invest their time and money and energy like they're on the amateur team, and that's not in alignment. So that's why I share this. I have listed the 9 most important keys for you when it comes to learning all about manifesting money. So those keys are: 1, you are the source of your income, not your partner, your boss, the government, or your clients. Money comes from your source through these channels. And that's really important to understand how that works. Your source, your consciousness, your thoughts, your willingness to receive money, your alignment, not those other people. Those people who are aligned to your energy will show up in your reality. So if you want to have other clients, more clients, or another partner or whatever, you have to shift something inside your consciousness, and then there's room for other people and more money. 2, give value to receive value. Get out of your own way. It's not about you. A lot of people, they want to make more money, be of service, and they're constantly only getting inside in their own way, being insecure, being in doubt, taking a lot of time to get in their head and thinking, oh, should I do this or that, and that's not a way to be of value. The only way, the only one you are, well, you're not even being valuable to yourself at that moment. You're just in your head. So get out of your head, get into alignment, and just create value. We get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. It takes time, but we get paid for the value, not the time. So 3 is, does it feel like the next logical step to take? And that's also is kind of in regards to your question, Jade, next logical steps. If you just always take the next logical step, before you know it, you look back and you say to yourself, oh my God, I came such a long way and I've done this and this and this. But it's so hard to look ahead, you know. For me also, I kind of know how my next few months will look like, but most of the time I never knew. And if I look back also, every time I thought, oh my God, this is going to be a big break or my big break or whatever, it was never the case. And every time I just launched something and had fun with it, you know, then suddenly things happened. For example, when I launched my Money is Love program, I just had the thought of Money is Love when I was in the car. And I was driving around and I was just thinking about, why do some people struggle with money? Why do some people have such a hard time with money? And why do some people like me, and I learned that, you know, I already learned a lot about manifesting money, but why do some people don't have those problems with money? And I was thinking about it, and this thought came into my head: money is love. It plucked in my head. I don't know if plucked is a Dutch word, but it plucked in my head. Popped in my head. Is that word? Okay, yes. So, and I thought, oh my God, that's it, you know, that's money is love. If you can see money as love, and you can see money as something that just is there and takes care of you, and you only have to focus on the love part, you know, giving love to yourself, seeing yourself as someone who can receive things from other people, who can receive love from other people, giving love to other people, showing up in a way that's lovingly for other people. And then it's only all about the love. And it was such an eye-opener. And then I created a program around Money is Love, and that was kind of a big thing, you know, but I couldn't think of that beforehand. And I also didn't know it was going to be a success, because, yeah, I thought, well, yeah, Money is Love, and it's really strange title, and I had all these beliefs around it. I thought, oh, people are not going to understand this, and sometimes people still don't. But it kind of spiraled from there, and eventually I called my whole company Money is Love, or used that as the subtitle, because the company is basically just my own name, because why not, you know. So, and I could have never thought of that. So if you always take the next logical steps, you always will get there, wherever there is. And I call it following the trail of breadcrumbs, you know, just next breadcrumb, next breadcrumb. You know, you don't know where it will guide you. You don't know what will be around the next corner or the next corner, but that's the way that goes. I gave an event last year in the Netherlands to find your soul mission, you know, and a lot of people have that belief: if I just know what I'm meant to be doing, then everything in my life will be okay. But that's like an illusion, because when I was 22 and I thought, okay, I want to write every day and learn everything I can about law of attraction. Yeah, it still took me 14 years to get to a point that I could actually see a way to make money doing what I love, you know. So then you know what you in your heart really want to do, but then you still don't know how, you know. So it's kind of an illusion to think that if you know what you're meant to be doing in life, that everything will work out. That's not the case, you know. Everything can work out anyway in every moment. Just because you take a decision, to feel good, to have energy, to be creative, to be powerful, to have fun, and just to trust that everything will work out at exactly the right moment. Okay. So 4, let money flow. You can spend money or save it, both are fine. The question is what intention, energy, and beliefs are backing it. 5, you are responsible for the what, the universe is responsible for the how. I already shared that before. 6, strategy, systems, and marketing all serve a purpose, but alignment is always the #1 priority. 7, be prepared for people not liking you, judging you, or letting people down, because if you follow your alignment, that's definitely going to happen sooner or later. 8, you can't create true wealth by doing the wrong service. So by being you, you know, can't create. Oh yeah, can't create by doing the wrong service. I follow Ketlo Terzo, and Ketlo Terzo, well, she changed her name, but she always said that, and I really resonated with that. So I kind of stole it from her, or borrowed it. And 9, you can't get your security from a steady income or whatever. Your sense of security is on the inside. You know, trust is an internal process. So those are the 9 keys. The 9. Are you still doing okay? Tineke says I have to get going, and I already told at the start of the training that it was going to be a long training. But just checking if you're still there. If you have to miss the end, it's okay. You know, I'll send the replay and you can watch it again later. But I'll also trust that this is information that's really going to help you to get past these money blocks. So just let me know in the chat how you are doing. If there are any questions that come up, also please let me know. So the 9th step is healing your money blocks. Ask and you will receive, but blocks create static between the question and receiving. Blocks are beliefs, resistances, judgment, and fears that are aligned to your old money story instead of your new one. These blocks create an energy that creates more manifestations from your old money story instead of your new one, and though create more shit than contributing to your dreams. So it's important to explore those money blocks. The law of attraction isn't at all about just being positive, but mostly about being honest towards yourself and the people around you. And from that honesty, you can create a new story step by step. Because if you just, that's a thought a lot of people have, I just have to affirm, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. But if there's a belief inside you that think, yeah, that's not possible for me, you have to examine that, heal that belief, and then tell yourself another story around that. So what are the most common money blocks, and how can you handle them? And the most common money blocks are not having any money. When I ask people for money, I'm taking it away from them. The amount of money in the world is limited, so there will always be lack. Having to work hard to earn money, that it is difficult to get money, that money is the root of all evil, and rich people are really bad people. When I have money, I should give it away or share it. When you have a lot of money, everyone wants something from you. It feels unsafe to have money. That was a big one for me. I cannot handle money well. I cannot earn money because I am too, well, whatever. I cannot earn more money than my parents or my partner. Keeping money away because you are scared of other people judging you. So those are the most common money blocks, and there are tons and tons more. And how do you heal those? Well, become aware of your blocks, accept them, and heal them. There are a lot of healing methods, and I use Ho'oponopono, and I teach about it in my Money is Love community, in my online program. So and it's I'm not taking the time to teach you about that now because it will take ages, and we already yeah, we're already taking a lot of time to go through this training. So the next step, release them with love and choose a different reality. And you cannot manifest something out of your life. You can only manifest something new into your life. And then there automatically be no room left for the other thing. A vacuum will always be filled, so make sure you fill it yourself. Why do people often cling to their money blocks? They will say that the blocks are really deep or profound, or that it's karma. But what's really going on is this, because there's no such thing as, oh, this is from a previous life, so it's going to take me a long time. No, it's just a matter of choice, healing, another story, you know? So why are people clinging to their money blocks? As long as they have a block, they don't need to step into the unknown. They have an excuse. Yes, but I can't because I don't have any money. It's a great excuse. They know what their life is giving and bringing them now. Even when it may not be what they are longing for, it gives them peace of mind and oversight and predictability. And that's more important to them than the uncertainty and feeling uncomfortable when making dreams come true and creating new things. And they have beliefs in place around money, and they think they will automatically become a bad too, and then it is easier to keep money away. For most people, money is really uncomfortable, really, really uncomfortable. And it's just easier to keep money away. And I see it every day, you know, people clinging to their excuses so they can take that next step. And I'll hear them say, I'll just try it myself now. I don't know what I want or what I should do. So if I know that, then I will. Well, it's different for me because I know enough now. I shouldn't be able to do it myself now. I first need to finish what I'm working on. I have invested so much already. I should get some return on that first. The universe has given me a sign that it's not the right time for me yet, you know, or just it isn't the right time. So I see it every day that people are clinging to those excuses. And it's okay, I can relate and understand, because I've did that also, but it's not going to help you to break through that money blocks. So yeah, and how is that for you? You know, are you going to choose you, or are you going to choose the excuses? And why are you going to make that choice? And it's not to blame you, and certainly not to blame yourself, but only to invite you to be honest with yourself, because only if you get honest with yourself, you can tell yourself a new money story and change your money reality. And of course, it's okay when you decide to not do something. Of course, it's okay. But then also accept that you won't get the results. And you need to do it for yourself, not for me or for anyone else. No one is paying your bills. You know, you are the only one who is responsible for that. And the ninth step, just let me drink some water first. Surround yourself with the right people. This is really important, and you have heard this before, so this is not something new. You will become the average of the people you hang out with. So learn from mentors, you know, connect with great people, allow yourself to be supported, and create an awesome team around you if you have a business, and also be prepared to invest in those relationships. And 10, renew your commitment every single day. It's manifesting money requires a lot from you, and that's why most people don't have that much of it. So for me, money is the greatest tool for spiritual and personal growth available, and it will challenge you in so many ways. That's why it's so much easier to keep money away. It is so much easier to relapse to old habits, old consciousness, and old behaviors. But the question is, do you really want to choose that any longer? Or will you simply decide now that you won't settle for anything less than your best life possible at this moment? And what are some pitfalls when you become this conscious creator? Because it isn't all that difficult. I gave you these 10 steps. You can just follow them. But in somewhere you can believe that it will go against everything you have ever learned. You know, you will run into blocks that you kept buried for many, many years. And most people will walk away from those blocks and from the real work time and time again. And that's the inner work. And looking at what they really believe and shifting those beliefs in order to create a new consciousness. And becoming that new person. Because, yeah, it asks of you that you will need to start living from surrender and alignment. And yeah, that's important, because you can follow these steps, but it's all about alignment in the end. What feels good for you? There is no checklist, you know, it's just an inner process. And you alone can feel what feels right. And of course, other people can read energy. I also read energy, and I can feel it when people are out of alignment or in alignment. And I know other people have that skill too. So you can always find that help, but you and alone you can make those decisions. And it's much easier to have a clear plan in place or do something and tick off boxes on a checklist. That's so much easier than doing the inner work and finding the alignment and taking the time to journal. Well, not for me anymore. For me, it's easier to journal and align. But for most people, and I've been one of those people too in the past, it's easier to just follow a plan, do what other people tell us to do. So we have wishes or desires, and we feel something can come into existence through us. And what is the first thing we do? Hopefully you're going to sit down with your alignment journal to find the alignment. But for most people, they make a plan. They think of something they can do. They change what they write on their website. They build a new system or buy a new system, create a new offering, think of a new strategy, have new pictures taken of, or rebranding, or take another course, or whatever, you know. There's so much honor in the doing part of it, in the action part of it. And that makes total sense, because it's much easier to get busy than to dive in deep and do the inner work. And besides, this is what we were taught at school, you know, and in society. So it is so ingrained in our system. This is not something I've been taught when I was in school. I don't know how that is for you. And then it's just, yeah, if you take the test, you have to study this, you have to learn this, and you take the test, and then we'll tell you if you've done it right. So it's really structured and really clear, and this is not something we've been taught. And a plan also makes us feel good, and it gives us directions, you know. It gives you something to hold on to, you know. If I've done this, then it will happen. I just have to do this one thing, and then it will happen, then I'll be ready, you know. And then they do that, and they still don't get the results they are truly longing for. And I've done this too for years and years and years, you know. And then they're disappointed, and they say to themselves, "This doesn't work either. I can't do this. This will never work for me." And well, more drama, etc. But remember, no problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. They think the plan didn't work, or that they didn't do the right things, or didn't have the right knowledge, but it's not about that. Yeah, what is it about? It's about consciousness, you know. You can escape that infinite spiral by really learning that it's about alignment and making that your priority, and trusting and knowing that the action part will come, and that the right strategies will automatically come across your path. And it's about healing those profound blocks. It's about shifting that consciousness, so you literally step into that new person. and following your inner guidance in life and taking control of and responsibility for who you are.